right, so we teaching people how they can get into the apartments that they cannot afford currently.
That is not what this is about, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I don't want them flagging our videos, tracking me down.
Did I read that wrong?
Yes, you did.
I thought we was trying to help people out in the community.
This is about fraud, ladies and gentlemen.
I could have
How
sworn.
it should be avoided at all costs. Go out and buy you a house. Stop renting and frauding.
Frauding and renting,
This is
yeah.
ridiculous.
Fraudulently renting places that you can't afford as if somehow the money's going to come into your bank account after you get into the lease. That ain't exactly how it happens. You still can't afford to stay there.
Advantage of it 1 month, 2 months free.
Yeah, you do get, they offer that in the luxury apartments too?
Basically any apartment, because you have so many units going at one time, the landlord can afford it. They don't do it when you're trying to rent like a townhome or a house. I know I never did it on none of my property. You need to pay rent from day one.
All 12 months. We not doing no month free. So
365 days. I break it down by the day. That's $24 a day, please. And thank you.
So Atlanta luxury buildings have experienced a huge increase in rental fraud. And so that is tenants who are fraudulently entering information or passing along information in these rental applications as if they make more money than what they really make. They have more savings than what they really have, and their credit is something that it's really not. So that is rental fraud, ladies and gentlemen. That is what has been increasing. And a lot of that they're saying is due to increasing prices with the homes and everything, I guess you could say increasing prices with the housing. So there've been a lot of apartments that have been popping up. If you drive around Atlanta, there is buildings everywhere popping up, apartment buildings popping up, but a lot of those are for the quote unquote higher end residents, if you will. There's not a lot of affordable housing popping up or affordable places to live. It's a lot of unaffordable places. And so when you have a shortage of affordable housing, but you don't have a shortage of people who need affordable housing, you end up with problems like people fraudulently having applications for rent that have information that is a lie, essentially, just so that they can get a place to live. So on the one hand, I do understand, but on the other hand, it's not the way to go,
Well, if you don't regularly engage in fraud, then I guess we don't really expect you to understand. But, like I was telling you earlier, Frederick, Atlanta is land of the scammers. You got people that scam professionally. And for the viewing audience, people who may not know exactly how they're doing this, there's several ways. One of them is they do it with these what's called CPN numbers. Credit profile number, I believe is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And, they go and they try to do these fraudulent transactions in rentals, get a car, because they have all these repos and collections on their regular credit.
Mm-hmm.
So they pay. Now, I knew this one person at one point in time in my life, and he knew scammers and said he wasn't doing it no more. But I said, no, your luck is just a little bit too bad for you to not be scamming no more. I'm sure you still scamming. The Lord, the God don't like ugly, and he ain't too fond of cute.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was like, at the time I was trying to get a tenant in a rental, and it's very difficult because you have so many people who either don't qualify because they can't add 3 times the rent, they don't know how to multiply, or they just simply are turning in fake pay stubs. So he said that he pulled out this document. It must have been 7 pages of nothing but names, addresses, and social security numbers. And he said he paid like $400 for it. And then he can sell them to whomever needs it. And it also had the credit score of these people. I said, this is...
And these are real people?
So wrong. Huh?
These are like real people, or these are like made up people on this sheet?
I said, now at first that's what I thought it was, a credit profile number. Like I thought it was like fake people or made up people, but no, it's actually unsuspecting people. You know how there's data leaks,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, and
on the
they get
dark
your
web, let's say
information.
AT&T, there's
Yeah.
a data breach. That's what they do with the phone numbers and social security numbers, and that's why they're getting them, because you can sell them on the black web or the black market or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
and get a pretty penny. And then those people sell them to different people that they know that, like, there's people who say, yeah, I can get you into any Main Street renewal or Progress residential home. Just pay me $1,500. I can get you the keys. If you know, you may have to move after 3 months, but at least you can have somewhere to go for the next 3 months, you know.
And see, this is why people need to lock their credit, freeze your credit, I should say, because you want to prevent people from being able to access your credit who might, your social security number, especially in today's day and age, may be compromised. There have been so many data breaches. The actual credit bureau, what was it, Equifax, that got breached, and all of these Equifax, one of the three main credit consumer agencies, got breached. And all of that consumer data, all of those, credit scores or credit social security numbers, all of that stuff, was put in jeopardy for all of these people that had something that was reporting to Equifax. And so it's just another reason, in my opinion, you want to protect your credit, and especially your social security number, as much as possible. Freeze your credit, because creditors cannot open up lines of credit under your name if your credit's frozen. If they try to pull your credit and see what your score is, they see that credit score is frozen, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, hey, you need to unfreeze that credit. And guess what? It's going to have to come back to you to have that happen. So this is one of those ways. It's like locking the door on your house to keep people from just walking in. Like you want to, you lock the door on your house so people just don't walk right into it. Like, don't leave your credit just open for people who might come across your social security number or whatever. Like, oh, let's run this credit and see if we can get away with it. If it's locked, i.e. frozen, you don't have to worry about it.
I hate that this is what we've come to.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly hate that this is what we've come to. I have a rental right now that I've been trying to rent out for. It's been about 45 days. I guess we're coming up on 45 days. And I received a couple of applications. I received 3, actually. 2 of them, I got fraudulent information. This guy, he gave me, he made like over $300,000 a year. But his credit score was like 579. And I was like, what's going on here? And he was like, oh, somebody recently opened up a fraudulent account, using my information. And that part was believable because I looked at his credit history from like July back, and it was perfect. And then all of a sudden there was this account that was open and no payments were made on it at all. I think it was like an auto loan. So I was like, okay, that part sounds believable. Well, just give me your supervisor's information and your landlord's information so I can verify your rental history as well as your job history. Gave me his supervisor's number. Never answered. I emailed and left voicemails and called twice. And I was like, I was like, hey, he didn't answer. He's like, oh, I have him call you. Never heard back. The landlord's information, the lady's name was Sarah, right? Some phone number I called. And now just about everybody that I know of has iPhones nowadays. But the number that he was calling from,
Android.
it was like it came up green. So I was like, oh no, this is
Android, a superior device, a superior smartphone.
That's a whole nother video, honey. That's a whole nother podcast.
All of us superior, we like the finer things in life.
I said, now this man is in tech and he got an Android. Yeah, right. That was the first red flag. Second red flag was he gave me this number talking about the landlord's name was Sarah. So I looked up the public records. This was way in California. It was a penthouse located in the Ritz-Carlton. which that's believable. If you make $350,000 a year, that's believable that you would be renting somewhere, something there. But the landlord's name didn't match the owner's name. That was the second red flag. The third red flag is I called the number, which was a different number than the number he had, but I could have swore it was a male that answered. Mm-hmm. But the lady's name, the landlord's name, was supposed to be Sarah. And I could have swore that male voice sounded like the prospective tenant. I could have, man, if I could have put money on it, I would have. And then this other fraudulent, application that we got, I just wasn't able to verify anything. Mm-hmm. First of all, you tell me that you're working at one place, but then you send me pay stubs for another, and on your application you wrote that you at the other place. Then you said that your manager's name at your current job is named Jasmine. And then I said, well, do you have a phone number for it? Oh, yeah, I get it for you. And I said, and I also need a rent ledger. So then I get a rent ledger. And Jasmine is now all of a sudden the property manager. I said, girl, I'm not playing with you. So Jasmine is your best friend. Yeah. And she's ready to answer and give whatever information she needs to make sure you get in this place. And the thing is, she made 3 times the rent. Her credit was like a 660. Really, she should have been trying to buy a house because she made like $6,500, $7,000 a month. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't able to approve her because I couldn't verify none of the information. It just kept switching around, and I'm like, "What do you have to hide?" And I actually called the I found the actual property management company instead of the one that she wrote down, and she was like, "Well, I don't know why she would have given you fake information. We are selling the house, but." She's not being evicted. She's not being, she just needs to move because we're selling the house. And I don't know why she gave that information, but at the same time, don't implicate me. My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. You didn't hear this from me. And I'm like, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So I just had to tell the lady, I was like, we can't approve you. And so now I'm on high alert. But see, I'm always looking at bank statements. I'm always I know how to verify information. I will skip trace you. If you put down this is the landlord and the owner, I will look in the public records. People don't realize how much stuff is actually public records. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people take for granted that you do have people that ain't really got nothing else to do but sit up and verify. Because I'm recommending my client, who is the owner of this property, to let you in there. And if they let you in there and you immediately default and they have to put you out, that makes me look bad. Like I don't know what I'm doing. So I can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Greystar is the nation's largest apartment landlord. And Greystar says that there is up to they say that up to 50% of rental applications in some Atlanta buildings are fraudulent.
That's crazy.
Pause, as they say in New York. That is high. That is up to 50% in some Atlanta buildings are fraudulent. And that's according to the Wall Street Journal. So they're saying other landlords are seeing trends, citing a surge in fake pay stubs, doctored bank statements, and false employment verification letters, many of which are being sold on social media platforms such as TikTok. I'm willing to bet TikTok's not the only one, but it says some influencers are openly advertising renter packages for upwards of $1,000, offering everything from fake IDs to 9-digit credit profile numbers tied to near perfect credit scores. So this is like a whole economy, it's a whole operation. Exactly. People are doing this, they got this whole business set up like, hey, if you need a place to rent, $1,000, you pay us, we'll get you in there. We'll get you everything you need for the whole package so you can get in there. My thing is, which is what I alluded to when we started, what happens month 2, month 3? Because if you didn't qualify to make the rent payments when you moved in, you ain't necessarily gonna have, enough pixie dust to now you get rental money in your bank account for the rest of the time you're there. Like that ain't, or you're gonna be stretching yourself so thin, you're gonna be stressed out, trying to make the rent payments. So
that's why these people only got a love seat, the clothes on their back, a few pair of shoes, a couple boxes of macaroni, and that's it. That's all they got to their name and make it easy to move quick because that's what they have to do. They just move from place to place to place.
There is a shortage of affordable housing, no doubt about it.
It is.
I will say, because of the climate of people that are attracted to affordable housing, a lot of builders don't want to build it. They see it as being riskier. It's just like, as you slide down that pole, it's like there are some people that don't want to rent to Section 8 because they say, oh, you know what? You're going to get a whole nother type of person. I've actually, back when I was doing real estate, rented to Section 8. It ended up being like 5 different people. Only one was on the application that moved into that place. There was no pets, that there were supposed to be no pets. There was like 2 dogs up in there, along with like 5 adults and a kid or 2 kids. It just got so crazy up in there. And it was just like, this is why you have a lot of people that, especially because it's just a business, and understand that like this whole rental thing is a business, right? Like they're doing this because they want to make money. And rental applications, people renting apartments, that's how it makes money. But if you're having to chase people down to get rent, it's going to be a lot harder. And generally lower income housing typically also comes with lower credit scores. And generally with lower credit scores, the lower the credit score, the more the headache you're going to have, because that credit score is low for a reason. There's some bills that you had that you did not pay, whether it's credit card bills, whether it's your car note, whether it's a previous apartment complex, whether it's your Comcast bill or your internet bill. And now that's showing up on your credit report as a collection or a charge off. Your credit's low for a reason, because there's something that you did not pay. Because if you pay everything on time, your credit's not going to be low. You're going to have a 700 plus credit score just by paying everything on time. So there's a reason why it's low. And it's, the higher the credit score, the higher the luxury apartment, rent is, whatever, the less you have to deal with that. Oh, I'm not going to be able to pay my rent, or I'm going to have to chase you down to get my rent. And so, yeah, now you just have this shortage of affordable housing. So I don't know what the answer is, honestly. I mean, it would seem like, oh, well, just build more affordable housing. It's like, yeah, but for all the reasons I just stated, people don't want to build affordable housing.
Profit. It's all about profit.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, And, I don't mean this as an affront. When I say that these people are living light, like they only have this, and I'm saying this it's by choice, because they are doing this purposefully. I'm not talking about the people that have to do it. I'm talking about the people that do this professionally, because once they get the CPN and they pay that money for the CPN or whatever fake credit profile, and then you decide not to pay your bills under that profile as well, and then you just go from place to place to place, never paying your bills. This is a mindset, and you're doing it on purpose at this point. There are some people who don't have a choice, or they're kind of forced into that situation. And then there's a lot of people who are doing this on purpose. They're choosing this because they don't want to be responsible for anything. They don't want to pay anything for any, the things that they need. These are the people that I'm talking about. So they pack light, they live light. They don't have a whole bunch of furniture in their house because they know any day now I have to move to the next spot.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about those people that can't put food in the fridge, or they can't buy, a couch. They can't I'm talking about these people who know everything I have need to be able to fit in my car, because here they come again because I haven't paid. And I'm doing this on purpose because I am purposefully being irresponsible. Not those people who are just products of their environment or they're a product of their circumstance. Not talking about those people.
And you do have a lot of good people out there. So I don't want to sweep everyone that has, fits into I need affordable housing bucket as irresponsible, because you do, have a lot of people out there that are responsible. They just they have a job, but the job doesn't really pay a livable wage. It doesn't pay enough for them to be able to live in a nicer place. But they pay all their bills on time. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it and heard about it too, where it's like people that have great credit, they just have low income. And so they pay all their bills on time. They're doing the right things, but they just don't they can't afford, the expensive high-rise apartment. They need lower income housing that fits into, their credit profile and everything. So I think something does need to be done to accommodate for those. It's just, unfortunate that you're going to have the bad actors in there also. So
One bad apple, that's all it takes. One bad strawberry and the whole
yep.
pint is just ruined.
Oh yeah. You have that one bad apple and all of a sudden, no one wants to do business with anyone that fits this, this category or this tier of, individual, which is unfortunate because like I said, you have a lot of good people out there who will pay all their bills on time. They just don't need those bills to be half of their income every single month. So, yeah, I guess it's a problem that I'm hoping, if it's me and I'm building an apartment building or, I have the choice of this and it's like, there's a need of affordable housing. I want to build the affordable housing, but I make the criteria, a little bit more stringent in terms of, credit score and everything like that. Now, as far as these people who are getting all these fake accounts, I also make the vetting process more stringent, and that will help weed out some of that. Like when you go to apparently it's a lot easier to fraudulently rent an apartment than it is to get a mortgage because mortgage fraud ain't happening as frequently as half of the building, which is what the case is in some of these Atlanta buildings. Mortgage fraud does exist. It's also a felony. Don't commit mortgage fraud.
Please don't.
But yeah, I mean, it's a little bit harder because the vetting is so much more. Your verifications of employment, verifications of rent, looking at your pay stubs. Oh, let's see your tax returns as well. There's so much stuff to where it's like it's a lot harder to commit mortgage fraud than it is rental fraud. But I mean, the onus is really going to be on the owners.
Yeah, it's just hard all around to be a landlord because, and I think you and I, in some of the first episodes we recorded, either that or it was just a conversation that you and I were having, but one eviction can easily wipe out the last 12 months or just one move out, one bad tenant, even if they left right, but they damage the unit a lot, it can wipe out the previous 12 months of whatever kind of income and profit that you made.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And so,
yeah, it can do some damage for sure. So
one thing that I do when I receive, I don't just trust the tenant screening software. I found that I will always look in the county court records for dispossessory cases because sometimes they don't all pull up. They don't always pull up. And that's something that I would recommend to any landlord that may be watching this, even if you do use TransUnion tenant screening, National Tenant Network. That's I myself use rentapplication.net, but I always look in the county court case records of wherever their previous address was, just to make sure that, because if people think that they can get away with lying, they will lie. Especially about evictions. But the thing about evictions, if you got evicted once, the likelihood of you being evicted again is very high. And landlords know this, and tenants know that landlords know this. So, I would that everybody would just do things the right way. But like you said, Frederick, desperate times are causing people to act desperately. Not everybody's doing this on purpose, maliciously. Some people feel like their back is against the wall. They have no choice. They're living in the car. They're facing homelessness. They have families. They want to provide stability for their children. And so they feel like they have to do what they have to do. And it's hard. It's hard. So definitely praying for the people of Atlanta, man.
Yeah. I want my city to do better for sure.
I do too.
Well, that's what we have for you. Make sure you tune in on Fridays when we drop another episode of the Greatest Asset Community Podcast. Tuesday, Home Finance Hack, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Till next time, take care. Be blessed. See you next week.
Pew, pew.
Like it.